Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture News here on The Experience. We've got a ton of news today, so we're going to just jump right in. Now, with the release of Agatha All Along, we got to see more of Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness in the spin-off of WandaVision. We also got to see more of Hahn in one particular scene where Agatha breaks out of Wanda's spell and finds herself naked. Now, while this was not the first bear behind that we've seen in the MCU, the first two, of course, courtesy of Taika Waititi, with the Hulk and Thor Ragnarok and Thor himself in Thor Love and Thunder. But this was the first female nudity and the first to appear in a Marvel television series for Disney+. Now, the idea for the scene, which also included her going outside and talking to the neighbor, while still in the state of undress, was that the actress, it was her idea. She was supposed to put a robe on, but Catherine Hahn told Variety, well, I came up with it. I thought it was good to see her stripped down literally as we possibly could, which spoke to her powerlessness as the present moment. Now, she went on to add, she said she'd been stripped of all her power at this point in the series. I mean, she really had nothing at that point. And so it became about illustrating the gap between the moment and her finding her power again. Now, showrunner Jack Schaefer talked about this moment as it was decided to go sans close. Catherine was like, would she grab the robe? I don't feel like she would grab the robe. I feel like she would really not care about being naked in front of the neighbors. I told her, this is the greatest idea I've ever heard. Catherine has done so much work that she's done a lot of nudity and other things. And so it also felt very subversive to get Catherine Hahn's nudity into the MCU. Now, the first two episodes released earlier this week, with the remaining 7 to come out Wednesday on Disney+. Now, moving on, we learned some interesting new things about Matt Reeves and what he's doing with Batman from an interview he did with Entertainment Weekly. Now, the 58-year-old writer-director has been a fan of the Caped Crusader since he was 3 and had Batman on his ceiling in his bedroom. Now, Reeves loves directing, but never really thought of himself as a writer until he took a screenwriting course at USC that was taught by none other than Jeff Loeb. Now, Loeb is the writer of the classic Batman series, The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Hush, all of which have influenced the Batman, the Batman universe that Reeves is building. The class and Loeb changed the young filmmaker's life. He said, he put us through the series of exercises. We just started working on screenplays. He came up to me and he said, you can write. I want you to really take that seriously. As for what he's doing, he has given it a title, the Batman Epic Crime Saga. And that goes well with all the talk of him wanting to keep the series grounded and why he's choosing specific characters that have appeared. He focused on the crime and corruption in Gotham, and now he has the ability to keep the movies focused on Bruce Wayne and Batman's point of view, yet explore other aspects of the city with series like The Penguin. And while the Gotham PD and the Arkham shows were supposed to happen but aren't, The Penguin, if it succeeds, will definitely lead to another series happening to help expand the BECS. Now, unlike The Penguin, which reworks some of the ideas Reeves had for Batman Part 2, whatever the next series is will likely use some of the elements from the other two projects that didn't move forward. Now, Reeves revealed that the script for the sequel is now complete, and we know that The Penguin is an entry point into the new film. And while he wouldn't mention much else, he did say that there's a period of time that the Part 2 will jump to. This is the first we're hearing of a time jump, and everything else talked about in the sequel picking up right from the TV series ending. We'll just have to wait to see 2 years to see what this is all going to be. Do you guys remember in high school when you had that friend that liked the really obscure music, and then when one of their bands crossed over into the mainstream, became really popular, they would suddenly hate them? More people are like that than you can imagine. In general, we see new things on the rise become suddenly popular until they hit peak, and then the trend changes to attacking that until it falls back down again. It's kind of like the quote from The Dark Knight, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. That's kind of where Marvel Studios is. For years, everyone loved the movies and the shows. They could do no wrong. Then they had to hit the top, and suddenly the flaws were more evident. Criticism was the new thing. This hasn't gone unnoticed by the actors who were part of the MCU. So Sebastian Stan, star of the upcoming Thunderbolts series, which we just got the trailer for, he told Variety, it's become really convenient to pick on Marvel films. And that's fine. Everyone's got an opinion. But they're a big part of what contributes to the business and allows us to have smaller movies as well. There's this artery traveling through the system of the entire machinery that's Hollywood. It feeds so many more ways than people acknowledge. Sometimes I get protective of it because the intention is really good. It's just hard to make a good movie over and over again. Now, I agree that no one ever sits down to make a bad movie. Okay, there was the Fantastic Formula film in the 90s, but most of the time they want to make a great movie or series. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So, going back to one Agatha All Along, Catherine Hahn was on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and she talked about her relationship between Agatha Harkness and Rio Vidal. She said this is a very complicated, old relationship, which was very twisted and complicated and toxic, maybe, but also loving relationship with this woman Rio. And it's only through them that I emerge. And then it becomes about getting my power back. Now, this expands the idea that the teen, Joe Locke, was the one who broke Wanda's spell and makes it more the combination of what he did and the sudden appearance of Aubrey Plaza's character from Agatha's past that's enough to shock her out of the hex. Now, we got the sense of their history right away, even when inside the hex, when Vidal appears in the scene, that felt like an homage to Mare of Easttown. Now, Rio appeared to be an antagonist, having threatened violence against Agatha, saying that she would tell the Salem Seven where to find her, and then they showed up in the episode too. But there's likely more secrets to the characters. Plaza has said she was happy to play the character and can't wait for fans to see the reveal, which hints that maybe Rio Vidal is someone else from the comics. Agatha All Along streams on Disney+. It's been long said that when DC needed to do was to find its own Kevin Feige, and now they have with the team of James Gunn and Peter Safran. But according to actor Frank Grillo, they may have also found their Nick Fury. After having played Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones, in the MCU, Grillo has switched over to the DCU, and he's playing Rick Flag Sr., starting in the animated Creature Commando series, debuting in December on Max, and then the character is also slated to appear in James Gunn's Superman in July of 2025. Now, Grillo talked to our friends at Bleeding Cool about his role and his place in the rebooted universe. The only thing I can say is Rick Flag Sr. is a huge part of the DC universe, not unlike Sam Jackson in the Marvel universe. That was from the beginning of when James reached out to me before he called my agent. He said, this is the plan we have, and this is what we'd like you to be involved in. I said, bro, you don't have to send me the script. I trust you, whatever it's going to be. I'm excited about it. It's been an amazing year. They're doing some dynamic, groundbreaking things with DC, and I'm excited to see what everything's going on. Now, Grillo's character is the father of Rick Flag, who we met in the previous two Suicide Squad movies, played by Joel Kinnaman, though Grillo is just about 15 years older than Kinnaman. Kind of weird. Grillo will also be showing up as Rick Flag Sr. in Peacemaker Season 2, and Peacemaker did kill his son, so that could be interesting. We've heard a lot of names being rumored for Hal Jordan in the new DCU. Recently, it was reported that Josh Brolin was offered and then turned down the part. And then names like Chris Pine and Ewan McGregor were being bandied about. Well, a new report picked up by all the major sites, Deadline, Variety, so on, is claiming that Kyle Chandler from Friday Night Lights is in negotiations to take on the part in the upcoming HBO Max series Lanterns. The series will focus on two Green Lanterns, Jordan and John Stewart, as they dig into an Earth-based mystery in the American heartland. Now, There's no word on who's playing Stewart, but it is being said that Stewart is more likely to be the more used Green Lantern when it comes to other movies and stuff. Now, the series comes from Ozark's Chris Mundy, Watchmen's Damon Lindelof, and of course, comic writer Tom King, and it received a straight-to-series order back in June. Percy Jackson and the Olympians has cast a very important role for the series, and she debuts in season 2, and they did it in a very touching way. The character is the daughter of Zeus, named Thalia Grace, and she was kind of in the first season, but she was a tree. The character made her last stand in protecting her friends just outside of Camp Half-Blood. And as she was about to die, Zeus turned her into a tree, and she became kind of an anchor for the field that protects the camp. Well, the character plays a major part going forward in the series. And they have cast the character because at some point she's no longer a tree. Now, whether that's flashbacks, that's for you guys to figure out or wait and see. No spoilers, but they have cast Tamara Smart in the role. Now, book series author and show producer Rick Riordan has said of the casting, as soon as we saw Tamara Smart play this role, we knew we had found our daughter of Zeus. She was, no pun intended, electric. Tamara put the grace in Thalia Grace. Now, sadly, Zeus in the first season was played by Lance Reddick, who tragically passed away just before the series finale, which is where he debuted, aired. Now, Smart has acted with Reddick once before, playing his daughter on Resident Evil. Now, the young actress said that she and Reddick always spoke about working together again, so it's that much more special and important for me to play his daughter once more as Thalia and to keep his memory alive, which I think is awesome. Production on season 2 just began in Vancouver in August. This is the 85th anniversary of Batman. We just had Batman Day over the weekend. Well, now the character is getting a Hollywood star, or a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's going to be the 2,790th star, and it's going to be right between Bob Kane and Adam West on the Walk of Fame. The presentation will take place September 26th, 11 a.m. Pacific time at 6764 Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Hollywood Guinness World Record Museum. Batman will receive his star in the category of motion pictures. They will be emceed by Steve Nissen, and with him will be President, Publisher, and Chief Creative Officer of DC, Jim Lee, Senior Vice President and General Manager, Ann DePies, and Batman will also be awarded a Guinness World Record title for the first superhero with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in a special presentation by official Guinness World Record adjudicator Michael Empiric. So if you guys are looking for something to do on Thursday, September 26th, and you're in Los Angeles, check out Batman getting his star on the Walk of Fame. And finally, we got the release of Thunderbolts trailer and poster. Now, the trailer is just the one they've showed at D23. We've heard about it. Check it out online. But the thing that's causing kind of a stir is that a poster was released as well that shows all of the members all kind of joined together or crammed together in a tight space, and they're all looking like they're going to try to kill each other. And one of the characters, Louis Pullman's character of Bob, now they haven't officially said who Bob is, but we all pretty much think it's Sentry. But the way the picture's cropped, it looks like he's got 6 fingers, which now, of course, makes everybody assume that is AI. Now, personally, I think it would be awesome if he's playing Indigo Montoya, or at least the guy that killed Indigo Montoya's father. But if you go check out Tom Hodges' Facebook page, Tom Hodges is a comic book artist, a Lucasfilm artist, and a good guy. He figured out by drawing the rest of the hand, the fact that there is just 5 fingers, not 6. It's not an AI poster. But, you know, everybody's very sensitive to that right now. So Just be warned, it's not a six-fingered man. All right, guys, that is the news for today. It's a little bumbly jumbly, but we got through it. Remember to stick around. We've got Minute to Skim It, we've got Mint Hunter, and we got Kicking with Henri later today. And then the rest of the week, I'll be back on Thursday to talk about the Penguin series. We've got original art and Friday Night Live on Friday, of course. On Wednesday, we've got, I'm never going to remember all this stuff, but we've got great shows Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the rest of this week besides Tuesday. So check them all out, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great week.